You want a war? You're going to get one.
What was that? He had no time for one more play.
He had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You literally.
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us. Yeah, we had one man opportunity for one more play.
Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, back here, welcome to early afternoon, late morning, or mid-morning with Philly 500. What is going on, everybody? I hope you guys are doing. I hope you're hanging in there. Hope you enjoyed the Hard Knocks yesterday, which was a Cowboys glaze fest. My God. But I hope each and every one of you guys are having a great day. We got some interesting Eagle happenings right now. It's going to be curious to see where they go. Hope you guys are all doing well. BC Nick, what's going on? Donnie, a Warrior Rage. Nick, S. Hundry Hurt. Is it Hungry Hurts? Hundre Hurts? I hate the way they did the ads now. Hazard, what's going on? Mean Metal Mike, what's up? Ivan, MJ266. My man Antonio, what's going on? Antonio Holmes, Philly for life. As I like sports. David, what's going on, my man? Two Davids. David O'Brien, David Hammond. How you guys doing? Sean, what's going on? The Latin Inferno and John Wilson are here. D8K, Paul Wilson, Unspoken Words. Shout out to you, Dewan, and everybody for being here. Thank you so much. If I missed you, yeah, that was a glaze fest last night. Let's be honest. Dude, Glaze, if I ever knew something to get more Glaze. I mean, now I think they covered more Dallas Cowboys than America's game covered the Eagles in their Super Bowl run. It was that bad. Eric, King George, what's going on? But I hope that the Eagles will make some noise this week and we will win, and that will change the narrative. That's what I'm hoping. But in the meantime, we do got some interesting things happening right now. So I'm going to jump into it. Then I'm going to hand it all over to you guys. And then you guys go with what you think. John Clark is reporting that the Eagles, he's hearing there is mutual interest between Darius Slay and the Eagles if he clears waivers. Now, somebody maybe can answer me this. How is Slay on waivers? I thought he was a vested vet long enough to not clear waivers, to not even be put on waivers. But he's got to clear waivers, and then Slay will be a free agent. I think the chances that Slay ends up in Philly are pretty good. I'm leaning towards thinking this is going to happen. Okay, but we'll see. We'll see by the end of the day. It could be one of those things that happen as early as today, and it wouldn't surprise me if Slay started on Monday because he knows the system, and it really depends on where the Eagles think Adoree Jackson is. I personally think that even though Slay's had a bad year in Pittsburgh, he's still better than Adoree Jackson. The other thing we're going to talk about is Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio had a press conference today, and one of the things he said that was interesting was that Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio said Marcus Epps is in contention to start this at safety this week. Epps' practice window was lifted yesterday. Fangio said that safety Sidney Brown was up and down like most of his defense versus the Bears, a.k.a. he stinks. All right, so I think Epps would be a huge upgrade over Sidney Brown, even though that's not saying much. I think Darius Slay would be an upgrade to the Eagles at that cornerback spot. And all of a sudden, you slightly get a little bit better at the corner spot. Let me see what the poll was. I ran it yesterday. So, should the Eagles sign Darius Slay? Got 90%. 90% to 10 out of 178 votes. I'm in agreement. You have to sign him. You have to sign him. So, with that said, those are kind of the things that are happening at this point today. I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What do you want to talk about? What do you guys got? I will be on Cilio's show today. I will be forced to watch that makeout session that's going to be taking place. Fredo says, Slay Wife posted on Twitter, said, Philly, y'all are effing amazing. The love is so real. That's cool. That is cool. Kenneth says, Slay is washed. Yeah, perhaps. But is a washed Slay better than an Adoree Jackson? I'll say yeah. Otis says, City Brown got his ankles broke by Swift all night. He's been trash. Yeah, he's just not that good. He's just not the guy. I like the way he plays aggressive and all that, maybe too aggressive at times. But he's just not that guy. Tyree says, Slay's wife changed her heart from yellow to green. It's happening, dude. It's going to happen. Kenneth says, I'm glad he's out of Pittsburgh. So you're a Steeler fan? Absolutely, yes. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Cowboys fan says they'll take Slay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to help, honestly, for being honest. I don't know how much it's going to hurt. I don't think it's going to hurt. David said, Philly definitely needs Slay back. You can make that happen, brother Philly. Yeah, I think so. It makes sense. Hard Knocks was trash. That was brutal. I mean, I love Hard Knocks, but man, that was just like one-sided, wasn't it? And that's fine. This is their Super Bowl. That was their parade. That was their song and dance. The collapse will be more entertaining. Derek says, Vic finally admitted to one of his players being bad. Wish he would have said the same for Adoree. Yeah, I think he can't say it for Adoree because I think he thinks, well, Epps is coming back. He's slightly better. But if you say it for Adoree, for whatever reason, I don't know. Do you guys understand why? Do you guys understand why? Because I don't understand it. Do you guys understand, like, what the frig am I trying to say? I can't even think right now. Oh, do you guys understand why Jacorian Bennett is total, like, not even get a look from Vic? Like, he does not trust him. And what we heard from, like, Raider fans and stuff was that Jacorian Bennett was pretty good, but he does not like him because he has no interest in giving him a chance. And Nick, thank you for the super chat, my man. First of the day, I appreciate you so much, brother. He says, Slay's wife basically confirmed Slay is coming back. What, with the green heart? What, was there something else? Or what? What happened? Antonio Holmes says, Vic don't like Bennett. It sure seems like it. It sure seems like it. Otis says, how are you, brother? Hope you're well. Keep doing you, brother. We'll be fine with F's. Is better. Get Slay, and let's see what happens on Monday night. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. I'm doing good, Otis. I hope you're doing good, too. Yeah, I think getting the Epps in their safety is going to be an upgrade over Sidney Brown. And then we'll see about Slay, Slay is 50 years old. The reason why Pitt got rid of him is just like Pitt don't right now. Well, I mean, that's true. He's old. But for the time of the year it is, wow, you're not, who are you going to get? It's not like you have a huge choice of guys and you're choosing Slay. There's nobody else. Slay is the only guy that got cut. Asante Samuel signed with Pittsburgh. So why not bring him in if he can help? He can't be worse than Adoree Jackson. I'm sorry. I don't believe he's worse than Adoree Jackson. Slay makes a big difference in the locker room, and they need that right now. Yeah, I agree. It's one of the only mistakes Howie made with get rid of number 2. Yeah, think about it. Like, we could have had Slay and CJ both back. That would have been awesome, There is no risk to Darius Slay coming back. There's none. Because what happens? You're not going to pay him. You're only paying him for 5 games. It's not like you're breaking the bank or going to have salary cap problems. Right? It's like, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. Yeah, it was a mistake, you know. Slay, Titan Style says Slay is better than Adoree. I gotta think so too, you know. Mean Metal Mike says Slay might also be a positive role model in the locker room. True. Slay to the Jets. That doesn't even make sense. Why would the Jets do that? I mean, why would Slay do it? Slay's retiring after this year, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is his last year, and he's retiring. So, to me, you're not going to go to the Jets. Marshall Chambers, thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you. He goes, all these Dallas Glaze Fests are getting annoying. I'm contemplating on tuning into Steelers' show today. Oh, it's going to be a Glaze Fest over there, man. It's going to be brutal. I'm going to have to deal with this. But I can say this, they're setting themselves up for the big fail. You know, I've never seen a team get so much love for being a 6-5-1 team, really. Like, even, and I can't say, well, when they made the trade and they started playing well, that's when it started. This thing was started. They were 3-5 when won, and it was happening. It's crazy. They're so desperate for the Eagles not to win the NFC East. It's crazy. A says, Philly, I know you're into conspiracy stuff 100,000%. What's your thoughts on a blood result with Marshawn that the Cowboys made to win the Super Bowl? Well, I would have to see what exactly you're talking about. But, I mean, you know, that's the first I heard of it. So I'd have to look. Is this your own thing or did you hear something? But they ain't winning the Super Bowl. So if that's the case, it didn't work. But it's interesting. Leonard says, Howie has to sign Slay. He knows the system. Exactly. Yeah, Jay says, you're getting Slay for leadership. True. Philly 500, I'm all for getting Slay. But really, does it make a difference if we can't get our offense to score? Well, I would say in some ways, yeah. Because if you can't get your offense to score and they struggle, then you're going to need your defense to keep you in games and be better. Right? So let's say the Eagles get right now they're the 3 seed. So they would get one home playoff game outdoors. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, it is important in that regard. You know, this time of year you just don't have a choice. It's not like you can choose. Well, we need a running back or we need a receiver. We need this offensive lineman. You don't. You know, those choices aren't there. You kind of got to take what comes before you. You know that's why I was like, get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back at the time. Look at the difference C.J. Gardner-Johnson is making in Chicago. Instantly, that swag on that defense is completely different. They're the number 1 seed. He plays with the Eagles, Super Bowl. Goes to Detroit. They go to the NFC Championship game. Comes back to Philly, wins the Super Bowl. Goes to Chicago. Now he's number 1 seed. It's crazy. So I kind of do, Logan Motorsports. I do think so. I mean, I don't know for sure. But I feel like the way everything is trending, it sounds like it's happening. Antonio Holmes, thank you so much. Man, he said Slay wanted too much money. Cash is the only reason why Howie didn't sign him. If he took $5 million instead of $10 million, he would have never left. Yeah, I agree. And I understand the philosophy of why they did what they did. But, you know, Ringo was a big swing and a miss. If Ringo was the guy and would have developed, we wouldn't be talking about this, but he didn't. We've had a lot of whiffs this year, you know, as where like last year everything hit. Catch XRP says, Catch XR, I'm a big XRP guy. In my opinion, Adoree had a fake injury in Dallas to hide being burnt even more. Maybe. Yeah, why not Simmons? This is one of those questions that I wonder myself, because here's another guy that knows Fangio's system. So why wouldn't you bring him in when you need safety help? The only thing I can think of is whatever they saw on tape or whatever, or what they heard, they think he's done. They don't think he could play anymore, you know? So maybe that's the only thing I can think of. You know, we got 457 people, and I only have 84 likes. hit that like. Make sure we should have 200 likes. It likes get me from. They give me a chance. Put it that way. I get killed in the feeds and all that. I don't show up in search engine. The likes are the only chance I have. So please hit that like button. Bay Shark says, how much eggnog have you drank so far? I had 2 glasses on Thanksgiving Day, and then the Eagles lost on Black Friday, and it just bummed me out. That I was gonna have some of the second half of that game, and I was bummed out because of the first half. So that was it. I've only had 2 glasses. I've been really good so far, but it's early yet. It's early. Steelers paid a lot for Slay. I don't think we're going to pay that money. I can't blame Howard. No, I wouldn't have paid that money at the time, but right now, what is Slay going to cost you to come here? You don't have to pay the same price. Plus, you're only playing for 5 games. Right? Yeah, I mean, you only got 5 games left. So that's going to be cheap. He's going to be cheap. Probably like $2 million or something like that. I'm good, bro. We watch you from Harrisburg. Okay, I've been following you for years. We good, man. Go Birds, will be fine. Oh, man, thank you, Otis, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to Harrisburg. Oh, man, thank you. Tiny Style says, Howie needs to throw darts at the board. We need Slay and Simmons. No idea why he's on a team yet. Yeah, I mean, I don't know either. I didn't watch a lot of Atlanta last year, so I don't know. But obviously, Simmons wanted to come to Philly, talked about coming to Philly, was walking around wearing Eagles gear. So it's like, I don't know. Leonard says, love the idea. Keep for the playoffs, playoff another. Yeah, why not? We need some veteran leadership. Even if Slay doesn't play much, I'm all for signing him. Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, the worst case scenario, he's on the bench helping those guys. Like Bradbury role type thing the year before. But I think, and I don't know what Pittsburgh, I don't know what their style of defense. I don't know much about their defense. So I don't know. Was he playing a lot of man? Is it a bad scheme fit? I mean, we've seen guys go play somewhere and are good, leave, stink it up, and then go back to that place and start playing good again. It has happened before. Nick Foles would be an example of that, right? LeGarrette Blount was a perfect example of that. Years ago, if you guys remember, he was with the Patriots. I think he went to Pittsburgh, and then they cut him mid-year, and he goes back to the Patriots, and it's good again. So it does happen. Dagger says, we need to forget that Marsha Epps was the weakness of our 2022 team. He sucked when he was younger. I'm not saying he's like the end-all, be-alls, but that Marcus Epps, that Marsha Epps, was still better than Sidney Brown. That's the problem, David says, we need players willing to yell at other players, and Slay fits it in on this team in that role so well. I mean, I think Slay would be hyped to come back, and we would see. I mean, maybe he stinks up, maybe he's on the bench. I don't know. I just don't think it can hurt you. Aaron Rodgers reportedly didn't like Slay as a voice in the Steelers locker room. Is that true? Is that really true? That's the least thing. Then I would sign him right away. If that's what Rodgers is worried about. Why is Rodgers worried about? Yeah, Rodgers. Rodgers is Rodgers, Hall of Fame quarterback and stuff. But man, his days are over. Dallas 505, man, thank you so much for the super chat, man. He goes, Lions getting that belt tomorrow. They're nervous. You mean they're putting on that belt right after they beat you guys? Man, I just swear, you Cowboy fans, you got me rolling, man. Cowboy fans don't even, Mark, I don't even think Mark has discussed the Lions. He just makes fun at the coach. Man, I don't know. I think from the way it sounds, Cowboy fans to me are taking the Lions very lightly. Now I'll say this: you don't play them, so you could take them as lightly as you want. But if your team is echoing that, you're going to get beat. Phil, I would like Chris Bell from Louisville, who reminds me of A.J. Brown. Yeah, I've heard his name, but I don't know. I don't know much about him. Phil, I follow you from Ensenada, Mexico. Oh, shout out to you, man. I'm not. Let's just show die on the vine. Laugh out loud, right? It's December. There's a time of the month to start losing. The Lions will win. Yeah, it's Cowboys choke season. This is what they do. Rocky, man, thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. He said, "What up, Philly? Do you have any faith in the offense changing?" I don't shake my head. Patullo was given a typical word salad conference today. Yeah, he says nothing in his press conference. And I'm sorry that his house got eggs. That's never acceptable and all that. But, dude, he doesn't tell you anything about what they do in offense. I don't know if they can fix it. I think some of the stuff you can't fix until the offseason. You just can't fix. What I think they can do better, and I think that this is totally possible, and they've got to find a way. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I do think that they can run the ball better than they have. I do think they can find their run game before the playoffs. And if they find that run game, it's going to change a lot of things, okay? Lane Johnson coming back is going to be huge for us. It just is. Bring back Suit Up and play him this week. I'd start him. I'll start Slay this Monday. I'm looking to be disappointed with Slay signing somewhere else like Detroit snag him. See, I could see that's the only other team. Well, and other teams are possible, but I could see Detroit. I could see a situation where he's like, this is my last year. I'm retiring after this year. I might as well go back and go try to go on a run with Detroit. I could see that. I could see it. But I tell you this, it's easier for him to come to Philly because he knows the system. He could come in and start. He was a healthy scratch last week. Father, can we talk about how everyone tried to slander Jalen just for Hard Knocks to prove them all wrong? I'm not a big fan of on PFF, but Slay's grades are higher than Ringo and Adoree. Yeah, I know. I think he's an upgrade over those guys. I thought all that bullshit what Jalen doesn't talk to guys on the sidelines and stuff. Man, that all collapsed yesterday. Philly Slay wife knows something. She wouldn't turn her heart from yellow to green for nothing. I'm sure that they know if he clears waivers, he's going to Philly. I really think he's going to end up in Philly probably tonight. As soon as he clears waivers. What somebody said in the chat, I saw 4 o'clock. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Hey, War Ray says, I promise you once Jerry Jones dies, the Cowboys become just another franchise. Jerry Jones' influence among the owners is the only reason Dallas gets preferential reporting in the media hype. I agree. I agree that they have huge power when it comes to that. Remember when the NFL Network started? If you guys remember, like when it first started, you know who was the big guy on that channel, on that show, on NFL with Rich Eisen? It was Seth Joyner. And he get replaced with Cowboys. And that was all Jerry Jones. Peso says, in my opinion, bring Slay back and let him try safety. And if he isn't that player, play him back at cornerback too. Yeah, safety would be an interesting thing. Could Slay make the transition during the season? That would be the question. And is Slay a good enough tackler to do it? It might just be too hard. Slay has got to be a significant upgrade over Adoree. Adoree's bad. I mean, every game we play, teams go right after Adoree Jackson. Kyle, thank you for the super chat. He goes, Philly, let's say we trade A.J. Brown in the offseason. I'm drafted Chris Bell, Louisville, dude 6'2", 220, plays like A.J. Well, I mean, listen, you would have to do something like that. I hope they don't trade A.J., though. I don't want to get rid of him. Fancy says, I would have rather wanted C.J. Gardner-Johnson back before Slay. Yeah, you could have had both. They could have gotten both back. But they didn't want C.J. Gardner-Johnson back because C.J. Gardner-Johnson can still play at a high level. I mean, dude, I'm sorry, but you look at that Bears, the swagger he's brought to the Bears, there's no doubt about it. To the moon. Hell yeah, man. When it dips, I buy. What's Mark Holmes going to say today? Let's see what he's going to say. Probably something about Jalen Hurts not, not wanting to run and being selfish. He'll talk about Quinton Mitchell, what difference he's made to the defense. It's a different team, and the Eagles are like Dallas, and Dallas like the Eagles, and that Dak is an MVP. Mark keeps talking about Dak being MVP. He's like, I can't wait till he said it. I can't wait till Monday to see the MVP odds for Dak. So it's gonna be that, and Sills is gonna be like, Mark, Dak is having an amazing season. I mean, he's just awesome. Philly, right? You gotta admit that, right? It's gonna be a makeout session. It's gonna be disgusting. But I'm gonna take it to what I can take, as much as I can, because they're setting themselves up for the big fall. I wish the show was Friday, because that Detroit's gonna beat Dallas. And we got 571 people in the chat and only 190 likes. Only 190. Please hit that like. We gotta have 200 likes, 300 likes at least. Come on now. 500. Have you seen the leadership of Hurts on Hard Knocks? That should put bed. He's isolated. What is your take on the Hard Knocks? Yeah, I actually streamed that and did my live reaction. Probably do that one more week and see how people like it. But I thought it was a Dallas glaze fest. That's all they really cared about was the Cowboys. As far as Jalen goes, I thought it put to bed a lot of the stuff that they are saying in the narrative that he just doesn't talk to people. We only see when the camera pans over there if you're at home watching on TV. The camera only puts it on when Jalen is sitting there by himself. They don't put it on during the other stuff. But I thought Jalen showed leadership, and I thought he showed the intangibles, Darrell Green example that cornerbacks can age. Oh, yeah. Darrell Green. Darrell Green's one of the great corners of all time. You need to start drinking like Mark. I can't drink like that, man. I just can't do it. Rocky, thank you for super chat. He goes, please, because City Brown is trash. Are you talking about like Epps? CWK says, it is definitely early. 500, does your eggnog have alcohol in it or not? Nah. Very rarely. The only time I really put alcohol in it is like Christmas Eve. I put a little bit in there. But, it's weird because, and I said this before, like the older I get, the less I like alcohol. It's just weird. Like I always used to like to watch the Eagles and drink some beers and stuff. Now it's like I don't care if I have a beer or not. Like if I have spaghetti or something, have a little glass of wine. I don't even care if I have it anymore. It's like, I don't know. I just get really bad headaches just from a little bit of alcohol. So I haven't had a drink since June. I had one drink in June, a Tanqueray tonic, and that was a little bit of wine. That was it. And before that, it was a few years. So I don't drink that much anymore. Hardly ever. So I see your point, brother. The defense is getting gas for saving the offense after so many failed drives. They can only last so long. I agree. We're not going to last if we can't find a run game. If we can't find a run game and get it going for the playoffs, we're not going to last anyways. That Dallas game's a perfect example. You're up 21-0, and you couldn't run the ball. If you could have run the ball, it would have been way harder for Dallas to come back. Yeah, Fredo, I read this comment earlier. I read this earlier. Yeah. We'll see what it means, you know. Rocket David Super Chat, he goes, sorry to say, but BG has been looking old out there. Somebody called him in my chat, I forget it was Brandon Gramps. Brandon Gramps. Well, you know, BG is good for other things too, like leadership, like giving a little bit of juice to the defense. But yeah, he does look old, and you know, we'll see how it goes. Maybe he gets going a little bit by the end of by the playoffs. Corporate Brian Pumper, what's going on, my man? He goes, sign Slay Simmons. Oh, mic'd up Jalen said it's his fault, so he's accountable. Sounds good, but it's just words at this point, not falling for it. You're not falling for what? Him saying it? So you don't... Man, Jalen can't win with you. No, look, no, if he didn't say anything, you would have been on here. I truly believe it. You would have been like, did you see Jalen? He was just sitting there, didn't say anything to anybody. Then if he says something, it ain't good enough. I get it, man. You don't like him. I get it. I get it. I do. I want to go back and I got to go back to like Super Bowl and read Brian Pumper's chats. Here you go. Dang, man, those Dallas Cowboys are kicking butt. Does this sound like an Eagle fan to you? One of the things that I've learned about Dallas Cowboy fans is there's one fan base that will go into a chat and act like they're the fans of that fan base and then give their Dallas Cowboys credit. They'll be like, man, I'm an Eagle fan, but that Dallas Cowboys are ridiculous. Like, they do it all the time. And then you see them in, like, they're in another chat, and they love, they're Dallas fans. It happens. Dallas fans are the only fan base I know that does that. I know that this is a Cowboy fan. Baron, what's going on? Tom's Cowboys win a division. We'll see. They do it all the time. They do it. They're the only team that does it. They're the only fan base that does that. I swear to you. They all do it. It's the craziest thing. I have never met so many fans outside Dallas that play like they're fans to Glazer teams. It's crazy. Our boy Q might get his teacher back. Yeah, he might. I think there's a good chance. You think Pumper's a secret? Well, I've never heard him say, like, I never heard him credit Dallas. Slay don't want to pay for you bums. Okay. Niners fan do it before. I've never seen it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just never seen it. No, AJ's not getting traded unless it's crazy package for draft picks. His hit against, I hope he's not, and I don't think he should, I think Makuba's out the entire season. I don't think he'll be back for the playoffs, but I'm not sure 100%. Steve, what's going on, my man? How are you? Here in the tri-state, it's going to get brutally cold last few weeks. Hurts has been struggling in that environment. Do you think Hurts has a problem playing cold? It seems like he does struggle some. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It does seem like it. He's had some biggest struggled games were in cold. Chicago a few years ago. The Rams game last year, which was, it was really hard. The couple games this year, it does seem like the cold affects him. But, I don't remember what the NFC Championship game was like. I don't remember how cold that was, but I thought he was decent in that. Dallas 505 Denver Super Chat. He goes, I'm not acting like no Eagle fans. Come on, man. No, I didn't say you, but dude, you've never noticed that? You've never seen that? Man, they do it all the time. They come in and they'll say, I'm an Eagle fan, but it's like, yeah, right. I'm in Philly right now looking for our offensive coordinator. Tell me if you'll find him. I've seen very few Niner fans do it. They have, but Dallas is number one by far. the fake fan to rep their team as another fan. Yeah, I can't remember Niners doing it. Niners can't help themselves. They're like, you know what? When are they going to come and say, I'm an Eagles fan, but bang, bang? Like, they can't not do the bang, bang thing. Yeah, oh yeah, the hate is really, it's at an all-high-time pitch. And you know what? Jalen responds to that usually pretty good. So that could be a huge benefit for us. You know, we got 580 people, only 261 likes. Likes are hard to come by today. You guys ain't liking me too much. Hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get at least 300 likes in here. Hey, I'm an Eagles fan, but those lines are sure waxing asses. There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. Wow, that Dak Prescott is sure good for. Oh man, it's hilarious. They do it all the time. Cowboys are. Greg Luttrell doesn't do it. I'll give him that. He don't do it. Cowboys are winning tomorrow. Then the Eagles will feel pressure. I respect your confidence. We'll see. You're not even a little bit worried, slightly worried. You don't think it's going to be a tough matchup at all? Oh, we need to just make the offense more compatible to Jalen's skill set. And if he doesn't want to run any more tough shit, make him. Yeah, I don't know if I buy that though. That whole thing. It just, I don't know the way you envision or what you hear about Jalen, everything you've heard. Then they say, well, he doesn't want to run when he's like literally like, I don't care about stats. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is winning. It's hard to believe that report for me. Well, you're the man. You're the man, Mercado. Thank you. As long as Dak Pickens do good in fantasy, you don't care. There you go. Man, I love my Eagles, but those Cowboys once got Quinn. They are going to the Super Bowl, baby. And man, usually Pickens and Lamb by far the best wide receiver in the league. They will never lose a game. I swear that's what the way it is, man. It's hilarious. And then, like, some of them will be like, they'll wait like 10 minutes and they'll be like, it's like I'm really a Cowboy fan. I'm like, oh, we knew. Mark my words, Mackay will be asking to be released after this week. Being back around the band, I feel the only reason they haven't is because of the game day Monday. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you think he's going to get, like, you think it's that dire that he's going to get cut now? See, I was thinking maybe in the off season. But if he got cut now, of course, I'd bring him back right away. I think Mackay Becton, I think he's going to end up back in Philly next year. If he gets cut, I think he comes back. I honestly do. Corporate Brian Pumper. Why are you corporate Brian Pumper now? Just out of curiosity. He goes, I can tell, and thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, I can tell we got a lot of those Trey Turner standing ovation fans. Brother, we get called another team's fans because BP knees don't shake for Hurts. Brian Pumper's knees don't shake for Hurts. I know that doesn't. I know. It's funny. How are the Eagle fans giving up on Jalen Hurts after Super Bowl season? Get help. How is it? Offensive coordinator playing cold issues like 22. I think the offensive coordinator is a big issue. Listen, I've said this and I'm going to say this again. To me, the biggest problem for the Eagles, everybody wants to talk about Hurts and A.J. Brown not getting targets. To me, the biggest problem for the Eagles is they cannot run the ball. You can't run the ball, and your offensive line has been horrendous. I think that's the biggest problem on this team. Even though Patullo's calling the plays and he's limited what he could do, even though people want to say stuff about Jalen throwing and they can't get the receivers going, at the end of the day, the problem with this team is the offensive line has been horrible, and they can't run the ball. And I think that makes everything else seem way worse than it is. The play calling, especially the run game, and the run game, the play calling in the run game has been horrible as well. But to me, if I'm the Eagles, and listening to Hard Knocks, it doesn't sound like they're going to change everything. Because if you hear Nick talking to Barkley, he's like, yeah, we just got to be patient. It'll come. It's going to come. We'll get there. Like, are you going to do anything a little different? Are you going to make any adjustments? Or are you just going to keep trying and hope it starts to work? We're going to find out. But that's the biggest problem in this team. The offensive line has been bad. And you want to say Barkley has been bad? Fine, whatever. But I don't think it's as much Barkley as the offensive line. But the running game has been horrible. That's why everything is so magnified. Major Pain, my man, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, Pumper spent thousands hating Hurts. How can you hate someone so much? I want to go back and see what he says. So, Pumper, were you in here during the Super Bowl? Oh, I don't have the thing anymore. I don't think I have the chats. Well, I'll have to go back and check. But Major Pain, man, thank you for the Super Chat, my man. Thank you. The Flash says, I'm a New York Jets fan. I'm a New York Jets, okay, Rich Kotite fan. But damn, those Cowboys, Prescott, Lamb, and Quinn are like Quicksilver. Yeehaw, right? I thank you for thank you for that. I tell you what, I could see Jeffrey Lurie right now. Man, I'm a owner of the Eagles, and I love the Eagles, and I love that we just won. But man, them Dallas Cowboys with that 1-star rating and that choking every year and always wearing just their white road jerseys. Boy, they're amazing. Nick, thank you for the Super Chat. He goes, only game Barkley went over 100, we scored 38 points. Yeah, there's something to it, It's true. And thank you, Nick, for the Super Chat. Hurts has missed open receivers for sure, but when opposing defenses know the plays, that's more diabolical than missing open receivers. I agree. I agree with you. It's true. The offensive coordinator doesn't help them. The coach, none of that helps the Eagles. And you could even say, look, you got Stoutland, and I said this yesterday. Stoutland is a Hall of Fame offensive line coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He's the run game coordinator. And it's been bad. So it's like, at some point, yeah, coaches are a problem and they got their issues. At some point, too, though, it's just the players aren't executing. When you watch that Bears game, watch the guys block. They don't hold their blocks. They literally let guys go by them after like a second. Corbett says, yeah, I was here saying Jalen Hurts during the Super Bowl. Yeah, you probably were. Yeah. Would you take Dak over Hurts and you would think your offense would run more smoothly without the run game? No. I wouldn't take Dak over Hurts. I said this before. I wouldn't. I think the Eagles would have lost that game to the Rams with Dak. I think they would have lost the Super Bowl. I don't believe they would have gotten the Super Bowl. Dak has not convinced me he can win in those playoff games. That's what he's got. That's what Dak has left to prove, that you could win the big game. So that's why I'm not all impressed with Dallas right now. Like everybody else is glazing. I don't think so. It's like we've seen this song and dance by Dallas before. They get hot at some point during the year, and then it gets to December, in late December, even in January, and then the big collapse comes because the games become more pressurized and they become more playoffs, and then they go into the playoffs. We've seen this song and dance with Dallas. Show me something new. Show me in the playoffs. Dallas 505, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, I'm an Eagle fan. Keep Batul and Nick forever, right? I get it. Yeah, I agree. UDT goes. I think Tank needs to run, and I would run them more together. Yeah. I'll take Dak, and then come playoffs, I'll bench him for Hurts, and there you go. I mean, if we're being honest about Dak, Dak has put up great numbers before. Dak can throw the ball. There's no question about it. He has the ability. He has great regular season numbers. He's done it many, many times. But when the playoffs come, he's not the same quarterback. And until he proves himself in that way, I don't sweat Dallas. Give Dak Philly's defense and they win 4 Super Bowls. Put Hurts Dallas. They win less than 4 games. I mean, that's what the Cowboy fans think, but that's just not true. It's just not true. I want to show you guys. Let me see if I have this here. I want to show you something. So here's what I want to show you guys. Let me see if I can pull this up. This is a list. Let me get this. Let's see if I can blow this up. But here is a list of quarterbacks in this league that have been to 2 Super Bowls, right? Because everybody wants to say, well, Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. Trent, Dilfer won a Super Bowl, and there were guys that won Super Bowls that were just good game managers. Okay, fine. But how many of those quarterbacks, how many game manager quarterbacks went to 2 Super Bowls? And we got it right here. There was 21 quarterbacks have been to 2 Super Bowls or more. Okay, yeah, here's a list. Tom Brady, John Elway, Patrick Mahomes, and then you see the numbers. That's how many they've been to. Bradshaw 4, Montana 4, Roger Staubach 4, Peyton Manning 4, Kelly 4, Aikman 3, Bob Greasy, Ben Roethlisberger, Kurt Warner, Frank Tarkenton. He didn't win any, I don't believe. Bart Starr, Jim Plunkett, Eli Manning, Len Dawson, Joe Theismann, Favre, Russell Wilson, Craig Morton. All these guys have been to at least 2 Super Bowls. Okay, all of them, but I think one at least one. There's only 21 quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks are considered good quarterbacks. A lot of them are Hall of Famers. You can't say Jalen Hurts is just a game manager when you don't. No game manager guys who just go on for a ride have gone to 2 Super Bowls. Saquon Barkley put him over the top, but it takes something to go to 2 Super Bowls, and clearly only 21 quarterbacks have done it, or 22 now with Jalen Hurts, I believe. But I mean, what the hell is this crap? Stupid shit. Yeah, get out of there. They're always trying to sell you crap. So, yeah, most of them are legends. That's right. So people want to say, well, he's a horrible quarterback. He's just a game manager. Game managers don't go to 2 Super Bowls. They don't. He's a good quarterback. He has limitations, of course. But I don't think he's as bad as people act like. Nick Foles went to 1 Super Bowl. This is how many quarterbacks started in 2 Super Bowls. 2. 21 quarterbacks. Get it right, dude. Get it right. Your boy hasn't been to any. Quarterbacks that go to multiple Super Bowls as starters are not bad quarterbacks. Take that for what it is. And that list gets smaller if that list showed quarterback salaries in cap era. Well, yeah. Because, yeah, exactly. My point is that people that want to say Hurts did nothing, he's just a game manager, it's bullshit. It's very hard to go to 2 Super Bowls, and he's done it. And only 21 other guys have done it, and they're all good quarterbacks, Hall of Famers, borderline Hall of Famers. So take that for what it is. it's different when you go into the playoffs. It's not the same. And Dak, that's what Dak has to prove. Dak is a champion of stats don't matter. Yeah, look, maybe Dak one day takes his team to the Super Bowl and wins it. At that point, you got to tip a cap, and say, all right, you did it. But until then, he's just Kirk Cousins. Corbett Bryant, Pupper Diver Super Chat. He goes, in wrestling terms, Jalen Hurts is Maven and Tanner is JBL, a wrestling god. Tanner McKee. Man. You better hope he's all that. Silly Dog says, the only Super Bowl Dakota Rain Prescott will ever see is Jerry Jones' toilet bowl. Yeah. Well, like I said, that's why I'm not impressed by the Cowboys so far. Because we've seen this song and dance. Hurts is another Eli Manning poor player, but won Super Bowl. I don't think Eli Manning is a poor player. And I don't think Hurts is a poor player. But I'll say what they were clutch. I mean, you look at Eli Manning, I think Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer. I think those two Super Bowl and the way they won him, I mean, they beat an undefeated undefeated Patriots. And both their runs, I believe they were the last seed and had to win every game on the road. And one of those games they won was Dallas was a 1 seed. So, he's borderline Hall of Famer. So offensive coordinator plays. I played football half my life. My high school coach called more elaborate plays. No joke. No, I mean, people have said that. That's what they said, Brian. We got 635 people in the chat, 333 likes. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. It's interesting. It's going to be an interesting few weeks. I feel like this Chargers game is going to tell us everything we need to know. If this team doesn't show up, doesn't fight, don't play, it's over. They're going to lose every game. And if not, then we'll see. Let's see here. Mike, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate that. He goes, Cowboy fans crack me up when they say take Hurts off Philly and put him in Dallas. See what he wins. What would Aikman do without Emmett and Irvin and Prime? Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly right. And the other thing is, and I blame Mark Holmes for this, they've created a narrative in Dallas like that somehow Dak didn't have any good teams, that those teams were never good enough to win. When in fact they were number 1 seed. They were a 2 seed. When you play those games and you're the 1 seed, 2 seed, and you have the number 1 offense and you've thrown 37 touchdowns and you got, all these receivers and this great offense and you don't win, that's not everybody else. It is, but it isn't. Those were good teams. You put Jalen Hurts on that number 1 seed Dallas Cowboys team, he don't lose. He don't lose that 49ers game. Jalen Hurts isn't running with no time left and no clock left against the Niners. He's going down and scoring. Dylan Jordan, thank you for super chat. He goes, what's up, Philly? Should they bring Reich to help? Yes. Immediately. I would bring Frank Reich as a consultant. Yes. I agree. While I enjoy the unscripted stuff, at the end of the day, watch this team. They watch this team to win games, not to watch a soap opera. Again, it's interesting, but winning is all that matters in the NFL. It's all that matters. It is. And Dylan Jordan, man, thank you for that super chat, by the way. Jalen is a non-factor. I don't know. I don't know, Pumper. I know how you feel about him. I get it, but I don't know. Jake says Eagles 41, Chargers 27. I'll take it. I really think if the Eagles go out and beat the Chargers, I think they'll beat the Raiders. I think they'll sweep. I think they'll win at least. I think maybe at worst they lose one more game. But I think that the direction of the team, if they beat the Chargers, will be good. But if they don't show up, if they look like they did for Chicago, then they quit again and get ready for the epic collapse. The only Super Bowl Dakota Rain Prescott will ever see is, right? Dak's first playoff appearance had prime Zeke Elliott, Des Bryant, Jason Witten, so he couldn't hit a bull in the ass, right? You got to win playoff games in this league, man. You got to win those big games. You do, and that's what matters. When Randall Cunningham, my favorite quarterback of all time, when I was watching the Eagles, that was what everybody talked about. He was 0-3 with the Eagles in the playoffs, right? Then they finally beat the Saints, and then they lost to Dallas in round 2 the year Jerome died. Then you had Donovan McNabb, same thing, couldn't win the big game. That's all they talked about. Nobody cared about his stats or his numbers or how many yards he ran for. It was all about winning. Michael Vick, it was all about winning. Now, all of a sudden, it ain't about winning anymore. I'm going to go to the game on Monday. We are undefeated when I attend games in LA. Go Birds. Oh, man, I love it. We're going to win. Eagles will finish 10-7. Ouch. That would suck, Tom. 3,500, I believe Hurts is more than a game manager. I believe he's Super Bowl MVP. He is. Yeah. Philly Dog says Lions win 48-21 over the loser Cowboys this week. I think the Lions will win. I think Cowboy fans are sleeping on the Lions big time. I just can't see the Lions losing 3 in a row and then losing another one at home when you need that. And what is that? That on what day? That's tomorrow. That's a Thursday game. I can't see it, guys. Donnie says 500. I believe that Hurts is more of a game manager. I think I read that one. But yeah. Corbett Brian Pumper, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, let's be real, Philly. I see fans saying, oh, he's a Super Bowl MVP like Malcolm Smith and Dexter Jackson didn't win one. It's Fugazi and Spice Meatball. Okay. I get it. One Super Bowl. But he did it twice, Brian Pumper. He went there twice, and he played both. If the Eagles get that final drive, and they go down and they win that game, he's the MVP. So he's played on a high level and won at high level. See, my argument is that Jalen Hurts' biggest strength is that he can win those big games. I think that's his biggest strength. I don't think anybody can take it from him. You can talk about, well, he don't throw the ball here, he don't read the defenses, or he's not accurate. But in moments that you need him to win, he finds a way. I just don't think you could take that away from him, whether you like him or not. Warfighter, thank you for the super chat. He goes, it's not about winning anymore because of fantasy football. Yeah, it's true. It's true. The conversation is completely different now than growing up. Growing up was like, oh yeah, Randall is having MVP. He's doing all these amazing plays and he's putting up all these stats. What's he doing in the playoffs? That was what people said. They used to say it about Warren Moon. Oh, Warren Moon, yeah, great quarterback, and he was great passer, run and shoot offense. What do they do in the playoffs? Oh, they can't win. And now it's like nobody cares about that. It's crazy. Yeah, Hurts does play better when he gets doubted. Tanner has done, and I like Tanner, but we got to see. Dylan Jordan, thank you for the super chat. He goes, I really believe the offensive line is a big issue. I think it's the biggest issue. I've noticed when other teams get obvious run packages, they don't struggle as bad. They need to step up. I agree. I think the offensive line has been the biggest issue, and we don't talk about it probably enough, really. Seems like Hurts is really going down the same path as Wilson. Yeah. I mean, I guess so. You could say that, right? Wilson became a better passer later in his career. They should have won 2 Super Bowls. I mean, that coach calling that pass play, that's crazy. When you had Lynch, but yeah, maybe. And if you would have told me, hey, here's Jalen Hurts, he's going to have a Russell Wilson career, but he's never going to put up big fancy numbers. Would you take that? I would take it in a second. Shout out to Leo, because Leo has said this and it was his question. But if you had to choose whose career you would rather have as your quarterback, who would you take? Dak or Jalen Hurts? When you look at their career stats and their career accomplishments, you would take Hurts every day of the week. And I know that's not just a quarterback. Quarterback just doesn't win it all. I agree. But they get more of the credit and more of the blame. That's just the business. Yeah, no one likes us. We don't care. We need Lane back, move Fred over. I think Lane needs to come back. I think you need to upgrade that right guard spot. And we got to figure out the center spot. Like, I'm not sure what Jurgens is. Like, is Jurgens just really banged up? Or is he shot? Like, I want to know, you know? Mike says, all this hate towards Hurts when all we know he's not elite, but every elite quarterback in Eagles history hadn't done what Hurts has for us. Where's the elite Lamar Jackson Super Bowl with the stacked roster? I agree. 100%. Why is Hurts becoming a worse passer then? Hurts is actually having better passing numbers than last year. But I think when you, as an offense, can't run the ball, and we talk about this, we talked about this with Dallas was like when we talked about previewing the NFC East. We didn't know what the Cowboys' run game was going to be. But if you can't run the ball and you're one-dimensional, you're going to teams are going to shut you down. I don't care who you are. Eagles can't run the ball. They're one-dimensional. And not on top of that, they're very predictable. And I think those are the reasons why. Jalen Hurts also won't have 4 or 5 interceptions a playoff game either. So while the Russ comparison is good, I think Hurts more authentic in the locker room than Russ and more likable to the rest of the city. Yeah, that's a great point, the riding bench Eagle. That's a great point because there were issues with like personalities in that Seahawks locker room, especially with the Legion of Boom, I think. Yeah. Oh, why wouldn't they have several also options for someone to come in and consult? Why wouldn't they? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, maybe they're trying not to rattle Patullo. They're worried about what happened maybe they look at what a couple years ago with Desai and how it collapsed. Maybe that's what they want to avoid. I just don't know, I just don't know. Leon Banks, thank you for the super chat. He goes, how will you combat the blows from Sills and Mark today? What can I do? Play a violin or something? It's going to be a disgusting make-out glazing fest. There's nothing I can do. I'm just going to speak reality. It's December. It's Cowboys choke season. And we've seen this song and dance by Dallas before. Let them show us something. Hurts isn't that good. Okay. Well, like I said, it's very hard to go to 2 Super Bowls. And I'm not saying he's the greatest passer in the world or anything like that, but I'll tell you what, I'll take Jalen Hurts in clutch moments over pretty much any quarterback in this league. Dylan Jordan says, I'm usually pretty critical of Hurts, and he's had some bad games. He has. He's been bad the last few weeks. But that isn't on him. I just hate that fumble he had last week. I believe that cost him. It did cost him the game. If you assume they take the lead there, and the question is, can the defense then stop them from going on scoring? You know what I mean? Come on, 500. Hurts stinks. He doesn't have pre-snap recognition, which every quarterback, Tom Brady, when we were line scrimmage, we knew who the Opa guy was going to be. So let me ask you something. You take one thing that you think he doesn't do good, or a couple things, and he stinks, right? But the bottom line is what? What's the bottom line? It's to win. The guy wins. You can't deny that. If you say what's Hurts' best ability, it's he wins. He wins, and you can say, oh, well, that's a team statistic. Okay. It's a team statistic, but there's a lot of teams that are really good and their quarterbacks don't win. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, but he wins. And there's only been, I showed that 21 quarterbacks have started in 2 Super Bowls. All of them are either Hall of Famers or really close. It's very hard to put this guy in there and then you're going to say, well, he stinks. I have a hard time believing that. I've been watching Speakeasy all morning, and they said that Sirianni is using Kevin as a scapegoat. Maybe he can't call. He can't. Sirianni can't call plays either. They took it from him before. Yeah. Tyler says the team is winning. I'm done giving Hurts the majority of credit, even if mentioned Sills crap. But who said anything about the majority of the credit? Yeah, you're throwing in words. You're making up words. I didn't say that. All I said was the guy wins. At the end of the day, he wins. If you give me a situation like in the playoffs, I feel confident with him. Does that mean he's going to throw 30, 40 touchdowns? No. But I think what happens is I think people are so caught up in the numbers, so caught up in how it's supposed to look and what they think is supposed to happen, and how there's a quarterback supposed to recognize the defense and make this throw and do all this stuff. They forget the bottom line at the end of the day is winning. And you can't deny that Jalen Hurts' his best strength is he wins. I'm sorry, that's just the facts. Can't deny that his 2 best games of his career were in the biggest moments. Not many quarterbacks can do that. So you can hate him all you want and not like him as a quarterback and not your type of quarterback. Fine. But he wins. It's staggering how many fans are turning on Hurts so fast. Like this quarterback has had a bad game. Eagle fans are way too emotional sometimes. I just think it's the nature of the beast, It's the nature of the beast. Cowboys being the Sheagles every time we play them in the playoffs. But what have you done, Jet Li? What have you done? You haven't won. When's the last time Dallas wasted a Super Bowl? So it's like we're talking about 2 different things. It's like you guys are playing Madden, and we're on another level here. So how come that front office don't bring consult? I don't know. I don't know. Mike says, people don't understand how difficult it is to win Super Bowl. There's been 2 guys in the last 25 years that have repeated. Even if we don't repeat this year, we're still the second best team in the last 10 years. Yeah. It's true. It's true. A doll princess of Barbie, she's emotional. I hear you. But it's funny how he sucks, but we lose almost every game he's not in. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he's clutch. Look, like I said, we already know his limitations, what he can't do. We've known that for years. It's nothing new. It's just at this point, people are just beating a dead horse, in my opinion. BBC, thank you for super chat. He goes, where do you rank Hurts among quarterback based on his ability? On his ability? Like passing ability, right? He's a great athlete, right? So I would put him at top as one of the top athletes. As a pure passer, he wouldn't be as high as a lot of guys. He just wouldn't. But, as an athlete, as a guy that could run, all those things, as intangibles, I'd put him up there. With, clutch, I would put him way up there. But if you want to talk as a passer, like a pure passer, no, I don't put him as high as the other guys. I don't think he's up there with Herbert or Stafford or Josh Allen with the big arms. But that doesn't, it takes more to win than those things. We've seen guys with great arms. Look at Herbert. All they did was glaze Herbert last year. Oh, he's only thrown 3 interceptions all year. He goes in to the playoff game, throws 5 in one game. But BBC, thank you for the super chat. I mean, in terms of passing, no, I don't think he's up there with some of the big arms. But quarterback is more than that. I guess the way I look at it is like we already know what he is and what he isn't, But are we winning? Yeah, I mean, dude, we're winning more than I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've seen a lot of Eagles football. I'm 50 years old. I've never seen a team win so much. That's what's so weird about this whole thing is this team wins a lot, and it's crazy. It's just crazy, Random Anton, thank you for super chat. He goes, okay, some guys think he's good, some think he's not. No quarterback is perfect. Get over it. He's our quarterback. Stand down. Yeah, the offense is not playing good football, and we need to fix it. But it's crazy how some fans are talking the Eagles are 4-8 or something. Yeah, exactly. Elite winner. Yeah. What is even that? We're making some. No, elite winner is not. I think that's a real thing. An elite winner. Well, yeah, I guess I see your point, but I know what that is meant to say. Like, yeah, winning. Look, I think winning and a quarterback that can win big games, I think is a skill. I think it's an intangible. I don't think every quarterback has it. I honestly don't think every quarterback has it. Dallas 505, thank you for super chat. He goes, he was so clutch he lost to the Bears when he beat the Bears. Well, I mean, look, you're gonna not win every game. Nobody says you win every game, but in big moments in the playoffs when you need to win, when you're in a Super Bowl and you can't run the ball, I mean, did he not win? Did he not show up? Where was your guy? Your guy has never sniffed a championship game. I mean, think about it. Jaden Daniels plays 1 year as a rookie, and he already has as many career playoff wins as Dak Prescott. And you're going to talk about Jalen Hurts and how he played versus the Bears? It's crazy. I've heard coaches put Jalen in a straitjacket. It's like they're telling him to play safe instead of letting him. Yeah, they do that. They do that. I mean, listen, I am as honest about Dak as I could be. I mean, I joke around, I bust balls, but I'll be honest, he's a great quarterback in terms of putting up big passing numbers. He can throw the ball. Nobody denies that. But man, he's not the same guy when the playoffs starts. That's just the truth. It's very hard to go to 2 Super Bowls as a starter. Super Tony, thank you for super chat. He goes, yo, Philly, what's up? But did you see Foles' podcast saying KP's strong ability is to be in the booth and see the field that way? He should try that and see what happens. Might help. Yeah, I like that idea. I think that's a great idea. Will they do it? I don't know. I don't know. But Super Tony, thank you for super chat, my man. I mean, I did see that Foles said that. Yeah, I'm going on Sill's show tonight. Yeah. Gooseneck says, Philly, Dallas plays the best football during the regular season. Tell me why you doubt Dallas can win out the rest of the season if the Cowboys are playing high level. Well, I mean, I think they can win. They can win out. It's not impossible. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's likely because I think they're going to run into a good team, Detroit here. But even then, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's very hard. So it's all for naught. Leon Banks, thank you for super chat, my man. He goes, 500, be honest, is the deciding factor in choosing a woman. Talk with 2 women. I like both, but one is skinny and one calcium. Thank you for super chat. I guess if it's like everything is a tie, if that puts you over the top, then so be it. But I mean, everything else has to be, you know what I mean? Everything else has to be the same. Then, yes. Ryan says, Moans are overrated. Give me a fat part. I'm not. Leon Banks, funny, man. Yeah, it's a great question. I'm going to be pondering it all day. No doubt. But, Leon, you the man. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank you guys. It's an interesting conversation. You know, everybody has their opinion. It's all good. Why is this 500 is lying about his age? He's actually 30-something. He wants us to think he's been a longer man. I love you. That's the nicest thing Wyatt has ever said to me. You have no idea. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. I wish. I'm a friggin' old mother humper. West Philly Rock, what's going on, my man? How are you? But yeah, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much. I will try to have a video later on today. With that, I am going to get out of here, and I'll be on Cilio's show at 4:30 Eastern, and then yeah, we'll see about a video too. I got to figure out what's going on for the rest of the day for me. But with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. With that, peace.
Come on, guys.
2 minutes to go. You got plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off, it's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak!
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott! That's it! Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb! Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb! You trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb! You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb! God! It's over! It's over, Dak! Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking